with Cajun Cookin with the Coach. Coach Lance Guidry of the Miami RedHawks is with us tonight to share his expertise in how to do Cajun cooking. So let's give it up for Lance. Come on in, Lance. Well, Lance, of course, you got to start with a nice hat here to make sure.
No.
Not exactly.
No. Every Cajun got camouflage. Right there. Oh, I'm glad everybody came out tonight to watch a little Cajun cooking. I'm going to cook up a Shrimp Creole with a little Miami style to it. I'd like to say something to somebody in the audience. We have a guest that is a great one from Miami University. He was a running back. He coaches for the RedHawks. Dylan McCullough. It's called Shrimp Creole. There's more than one way to do it, but this is the way my family does it. My family is the Guidrys. My mother was a Landry, and the other side was Bros. So there's a bunch of Cajuns, a bunch of people from Nova Scotia that exiled down to Acadian Parish. So anyway, this is the recipe that I learned from them, and everybody does it a little different, but this is the way we do it in the Guidry house. So first we start with about a half a stick of butter, and we let that saute, let that melt down, and then the ingredients we're going to use next. Oh, I need to turn this down a little bit. It's going to take me a while to get used to the fire here. We just let that melt, and really we just want the bottom of the pot to be glazed, Doc. Once we're finished, melt it down real good. Then we're going to add our vegetables. The vegetables that we use is, in almost every meal down south, is onions, white onions or yellow onions, and bell pepper, green bell pepper. So once we get this melted real good, we'll put those ingredients in there. Okay? We use right here, I didn't cut it up. I had a great woman that cut this up for me. And this is this a whole bell pepper? Is that what we used? We use a whole bell pepper. The next thing we use is we'll put our onion in there. Sometimes we had to add a little bit more butter, just depends. I'm going to put a little bit more. And we want to make sure that when you're melting your butter and you get it melted and you got your onions and your bell pepper, that it kind of caramelizes, and you're finished really sauteing it. When it's soft, and you can really break it with the spoon. She might have added a little bit more. She might have a little bit too much, but that's all right. I can always add more butter. We can always clog up those arteries a little bit more. You know what I mean, Doc? That's the best thing about Cajun cooking. You don't worry about your health. One thing in Louisiana, we do everything with passion. Everything. And with that, we party. And in Louisiana, I think we're the happiest state in the United States. I really do. They did a survey, and everybody has such a good time. If you've ever been to an LSU game, the meals there are incredible. Even at my alma mater, which is McNeese State, great cooking, and everybody's having a good time. And I just want to share that with Miami a little bit, Doc. I have cooked when I first, people don't know this, but when I first got there, the coaches, Coach Haywood, of course, Coach Bull Reese, Morris Watts, and Billy Elias had all been to LSU. So they were familiar with Cajun cooking. Plus we had Sid Cormier, who was from Houston, Texas. First thing they made me make was a crawfish etouffee. Then the next week, they had me cook a Shrimp Creole. Now that was all in between the eatings between your daughter when she was cooking for us, because his daughter's a good cook too. So we've got this sauteing down. The next thing we'll do is, after it's softened up, is I'll add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Now we don't want to put too much, but we put just enough to make it a little brown, just to give it a little kick. And I can't tell you how much of everything, because we don't measure anything. That's one thing in the South. You do not measure any salt, pepper. You do everything by taste. So when people cook gumbo and people cook Cajun dishes, they always ask how much. We don't know. You have to taste it. You have to know how your food tastes and how you want it. So We're getting this all nice. And you see my nice top right there? That's Cajun cooking right there. Right there. Hey, we did our best. We're in a hotel. But it's coming along nice.
Well, while that's cooking, how's the team doing?
Team's doing good. Today we had our last real practice. I think today wasn't one of our best practices, but I think they're tired of practicing against each other. You know, it's been a while since we played a game, but we've been practicing against each other for a while. You know, we've had a lot of things happen over 4 or 5 weeks, but the team's really responded well, Doc, and you're going to be proud of them come Thursday.
I'm already proud of them. I can't wait for the game to start.
Yes, but you're going to be more proud of this Shrimp Creole. Woo, shucky ducky. All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right, now I'm going to put a little bit of garlic. You don't want to put too much garlic because garlic will make your breath smell and also it'll take over your food. Okay? This is some minced garlic. You can do it. You can get the clove kind and cut it up yourself, but I think this is the minced kind. And we do the same thing. After this cooks down, okay, what we're going to do next is we're going to go to our tomato sauce. And we've got 3 cans of tomato sauce, okay? And you can, it depends how much you want to make. It's how many cans of tomato sauce you make, that you actually get. But we're going to do just 3. And what I do is, I usually go 1.5 cans of water. They wrap this too good. I usually go 1.5 cans of water to each can of tomato sauce. And I had some lovely assistants. They helped me measure some ounces in these water glasses. I'm not going to say no names. Okay. So that's 1. And there goes 2. Oh, Doc, that's looking good. No. That smells great. I didn't even put the seasoning yet. Okay. So let that kind of go there. We'll add 1 can of Rotel, okay? But I'm going to play it by ear. I'm going to add Rotel, tomato Rotel, okay? I'm going to add just 1/2 can because I don't want it too spicy. Because we have some people that aren't used to having a lot of spice, so I don't want to get too spicy for them. Now I've got my water, so I'm going to add my water.
Wow, that's a lot of water.
Yeah, but it's going to cook down. And I hope my pot's deep enough. But we'll make do.
That's a lot of water.
It's okay. It's all right. It's going to cook down.
Are you turning it up now? Or what are you
Yeah, I'm going to turn it up a little bit more. And I can always add more water. But this is the key, Doc. The key to mine is cream of mushroom soup.
Oh, really?
Okay? Yes, because cream of mushroom soup will thicken it. So I'm going to put about, this is 2 cans. I'm going to put about 1 can right now. And I'm going to get this thing going at a higher temperature and really get it to start to boil. But in Louisiana, we say ball. But since I'm at Miami University, I need to speak a little properly. So I'm going to say boil. Some people laughing in the back, huh? Is that Dylan's wife? Or is that a Louisiana girl in the audience? We do have a Louisiana girl in the audience from Shreveport, Louisiana. My wife's going to be very proud of me. And let's get this going up. Now, I'm going to turn it up a little bit more to get it to start to boil a little bit. Now, what I do now, let me make sure that let me see what this is. That's my sugar. That's what I need. Okay. Oh, sugar. Yeah, because if you don't put sugar, the tomato sauce will take over. It'll just be too strong. It'll be too acidy. So what you want to do is you want to use sugar to break it. And you want this Creole to be a little sweet, but not too sweet.
How much sugar do you think you're putting in there?
I don't know. I don't measure anything. It's all a taste. So I'm going to start off with about
a bunch.
That much.
Yeah,
okay.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the cream of mushroom because it's not going to be too thick. I can tell already. Now the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding my seasonings.
While you're doing this, who taught you to cook like this, Lance?
Well, combination of people. I watched my mama cook for a long time. Her mother was a really good cook, and my dad's mom was a really good cook, but my dad's mom was elderly, and she would tell my aunts how to cook from the table because she was a diabetic and she was blind. So I would just listen to her, tell them how to cook. But really I learned probably the most from my wife. My wife's a really good cook, and she learned from her parents, especially her grandma. So it's kind of a combination of everybody. Everybody down south, especially in southwest Louisiana, pretty much cook the same. When you get to New Orleans is more Creole, which is not as much Cajun. So their food is a little bit different. Like in gumbo, they like to put tomatoes, where in Cajun land, Lafayette area, going back toward Lake Charles, Louisiana, we don't put tomatoes in our gumbo. So it's just a little different with seasonings and different things.
Now you've talked about all these women who have influenced you in cooking, but is it typical for men to be involved in cooking like this?
Oh yes, oh yes. You got to be able to cook in Louisiana because, because there's a lot of duck hunters, there's a lot of deer hunters, and so you go off to camps, and sometimes you stay a week at a time. Well, there's no women at those camps, so somebody's got to be able to cook. So a lot of time you're cooking gumbos and things like that. You cook large amounts of things to sort of last throughout the week. So men learn how to cook real early too. So
now you mentioned the traditions that come from Arcadia, from Canada and so forth, moving down here. Is that generally understood by everybody, and what your history is and what your origins are for coming to here?
For as what now, Doc? What you mean?
Well, do most people understand what your background is and how...
At Miami?
No, in general, Cajuns. How did the Cajuns understand where they came from and how they got to be who they are?
Yes, I remember when I was a young boy, we were Catholic. A lot of Cajun descent people are Catholics, and you don't really know why as a little boy, you know. And my mama always had them rosary beads, and she'd bring them to football games every time I played. And I'm like, golly, Mama, you had the vow of a Catholic. But as I got older, I got married and I became Baptist. Oh my, it was like I broke the golden rule. And so she told me about my heritage and about the Cajuns getting kicked out of Nova Scotia and all that. So Catholics, especially with Cajuns, is a strong influence. So a lot of people know about Cajuns and about their culture and where they come from and why. But now it's more open, I guess, and far as with religion and things like that. But we all cook about the same, you know. It's just everybody tweaks their different recipes.
All right. How we doing?
Oh, we're doing good. Once we get this thing start boiling a little bit, I'll put the top on and let it cook down. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my seasonings, okay? I went ahead and I put some sugar in there, and I'm going to taste it in a second. After I put some salt, and again with the salt, I just add salt. I don't know how much. I'll taste it after a while and see, okay? The next thing I'll put is some black pepper. Another bad thing for you, okay? So I'll just add black pepper. Don't want to put too much right now, okay? The next thing we use is, and there's all kind of different seasonings you can use. They have Zatarain's, they have Paul Prudhomme, who's a great chef. This is Tony Chachere. And Tony Chachere is probably used by more people in Louisiana than any other, probably. So that's the seasoning that we have, and that's the ones that people here in Alabama gave me. So that's what we're going to use. So, now, Doctor, I know it looks like a lot to you, but we got a large amount.
And what is the general taste of that special seasoning?
It's got a spicy taste, but it's got its own kind of Creole taste to it. It's a different spice. It's what I call Cajun spice, which is really different than any other spices. It's not too hot. It's got a certain spice to it, you know. There's a really good one in Opelousas area that I really like in Port Barry called Borks, because sometimes Tony Chachere is too salty, so you got to watch about how much salt you put in. So I'm going to get this spoon and give a little taste to see what I need to add before it starts cooking. Ooh, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. We're gonna kick it up a little bit more though.
Good. Is that spicy hot or?
Not real hot. I'm not using red pepper. There's red pepper in there, but I'm not going to use just cayenne pepper itself. But it has a good flavor to it. The main thing is with Tony Sasher, you need to watch out how much salt you put. But right now I can taste it has a little sweetness to it, which is really good. Now, Doc, let me ask you a couple things. Doc, when did you come to Miami as the president?
Well, about 4.5 years ago.
And why did you select Miami? Was it the first one you had a chance to become a president at?
It was absolutely, and we fell in love with Miami. It's focus on students. It's just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it here. The buildings are so pretty, and you know I've never really witnessed the snow as much as I have in Miami. But it is a beautiful campus, and it's everything it was cracked up to be. I promise you, Doc.
Good. Well, we like to succeed, and we like to excel. We like to really work hard, and you've got the football team doing that. We're excited about that.
Well, I appreciate it. We're gonna put this over it, and we're gonna let it come to start boiling a little bit, and we'll come back.
Well, welcome back, and I think we've allowed this to cook itself down a little bit, and we're ready to go here, and let's see what we got.
Yeah, we cooked it down, and we had to get it thick. And Doc's got a new set of clothes on, and a new hat.
Well, I got to be red.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, you got to be red at Miami.
Yeah, well, he's not going to tell you the truth why he's talking about red. He got a lot of the sauce spilled on his clothes, so he had to change.
Thanks a lot.
Our next step is we're going to put some green onions in, some green onion chops. And this just to give it a more onion taste. And then we're going to go with our shrimp. This is some medium shrimp.
Are these Gulf shrimp?
Yes, I think they are Gulf shrimp. This is 3 pounds of Gulf shrimp.
Really?
Yes. So we're going to put them in there. We're going to let them cook for about 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes is up, then we're going to cut it off and we'll be ready to eat. Because if you cook them any more than 15 minutes, they'll get hard and rubbery, and we don't want that to happen.
Want that, no. Now, this is Shrimp Creole. Do you have other dishes that you like to prepare?
Yes, I like, probably my favorite dish is crawfish etouffee, but not everybody likes crawfish. Of course, down south everybody does, but Shrimp Creole goes over well pretty much anywhere because everybody likes shrimp. Also, I like to do shrimp with crab, and sometimes I put sausage with okra. And people really like that. But the crawfish, I usually do it just with my family or people from down south.
I see.
And then we cook gumbo,
Yep.
you know. So.
That's very good. Now, while you're cooking this, now the Miami football team lost 10 games, 11 games last year. And this year, if we win this game, has a chance to be double digits, 10 wins. No team in NCAA history has ever done this big a swing. How do you, as a coach, and how do the players feel about this opportunity?
Oh, it's a great opportunity, and really the coaches or the players didn't even know about the history of that type of turnaround. We knew that we'd gotten a lot better, of course, and we know winning conference, being from 1-11 and winning conference is a big deal and going to a bowl game. But when you got a chance to win 10 bowl games and you lost 11 last year, I didn't even know what the stats were because you don't keep stats like that. When you lose 11, you don't keep that. And that would be great, and these kids deserve it because they've been through a lot. Through the last years, especially the seniors, they've gone through a lot of changes, and to end the way that they're going to end with a win and make history would be really special.
What do you think is the biggest ingredient of that big change, of going from 11 losses to possibly 10 wins?
Well, I think it's all about attitude. And of course, you create attitude in the off season with early morning runs and just a togetherness. And I think when we changed and went to morning practices, I think it changed a lot. You tend to kids in the evening time know that they have to go to class, of course, and then they have study hall. And after study hall, they know they have to get up that next morning and practice. So they're not hanging out and going to such and such's house, or hanging out going into Pizza Hut, or where there's Buffalo Wild Wings. And you know, they got to get to bed and wake up the next morning, and that's really helped. And in the fall, we carried over the same thing where we practice early in the mornings. And I think it's been the biggest change with discipline and organization, and just the changing of the culture at Miami.
Great. Well, we can't wait to have this game tomorrow night, so we're going to let this simmer now for about 15 minutes, you say?
About 15 minutes, and we'll come back, and we'll serve it over some rice, and we're going to have some happy men and women.
Oh, we sure are. Can't wait. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Well, welcome back, everybody. And then we've been cooking this now for about 15 minutes. What do you think, Lance? Is it about ready to go?
Yeah, it's ready, and it tastes delicious.
Are you sure?
I think so.
I'll bet it is. Well, who should we have taste it?
I think your wife and your lovely daughter, Miriam, should be the first to have a taste.
Well, they're the lucky ones. Well, why don't we have them come on and do that, okay?
Go ahead and serve your own rice, please. That way you can have as much as you want. Okay. All right. Oh, Miriam, you're going to like this. Miriam's cooked for us before. She cooks some greens and some fried fish and all kind of stuff. Miriam?
Yeah.
Fried chicken. So she does a great job of preparing food for the coaches, and it's always good when she serves those brownies after we win a game.
Looks really good.
It looks
Smells
delicious.
really good.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Smells amazing.
And for Mrs. Hodge, you don't have to lie to me. You can tell the truth now.
She won't be.
It might be a little spicy for your taste, but hey.
Oh my gosh, no, it's amazing. It's so good.
Did you want any Tabasco sauce or anything else on it? Or
No. No more spice. It is really, really good.
Okay.
It is
All right.
really, really
There you
good.
go.
Is it?
It is so good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Is that the best Creole you've ever had?
Oh, without a doubt.
It's the only Creole you've ever had.
Well, that's Shrimp Creole from the coach. What do you think about that, huh? Well, there's no doubt about you being a winner here with the kitchen, Coach. Now we've got to be a winner on Thursday night here with the big game, and we're all excited and can't wait to have it go. So good luck to you and the team.
Well, I appreciate it, and I promise you everything will be ready and prepared for us with the team, just like we did as Creole.
That's great. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Scott?